Test, test, test. Excuse me. Okay. I think we're going. Okay. I think we're going. Let's try that. Hmm. Okay. Do. Wait, you stream? Can you hear the music? I changed the audio settings. So I'm curious if the music is going through. No music? How about now? Do you hear it now? Rocking the beard. Yeah, there's music? Okay, good. Yeah, I haven't shaved in a while. I also need a haircut. I'm getting pretty scruffy. What's up, Toasty? How's it going? I think this fight's pretty much done. I just want to do a few run-throughs and see how it plays. Beard looking nice. Yeah. I've had it a lot longer before. I need to change the color of those. Oh, I don't have any potions. Great. Entry-level job search, that's what's going? Nice. How's it going? How do you solve the layering issue? I basically send over a component that says which limb it is in order, and then I sort them on the render side. I give them like a really small depth bump. So like the head is a little higher than the body. The next body is a little bit like stair steps down. Claude took my job. Yeah, probably. Freaking Claude. I'm trying to see my beard. I feel like it's not that long, but I guess it's more than normal. We'll do like a gold build. I'm doing good. I think this, I think the boss fight's pretty much done. I just want to run through and test it a few times. It's kind of tricky. It's kind of a hard fight. I think sword's just a bad mix for sword is just a bad mix for this one. Something like Grug Club. One of the clubs would be super good for this. Because it hits multiple. Like, you want something with Pierce. Man. Oh, those turned at the right point. Oh, I thought I dodged that. That was a risky dodge. Freaking little grubs, dude. I got poisoned. I'm allowed to ask before full-time streaming, what was your job? I did like cloud services. I was like a back-end engineer and a lot of Java stuff. It's a little, I mean, it's, I don't know. I think it'll go faster if for people that are actually have skill points and stuff like that purchased and have like leveled up a bit. This is kind of long. The other thing I don't love is that it just kind of circles. These are kind of the hard phases when you get this minion spawned. Didn't kill him. Yeah, I like cloud services. Before that, I was doing like device driver type stuff, and that was way less interesting. It wasn't that it wasn't interesting. It was just that the feedback loop for doing device drivers is a lot longer, so it makes it less fun for me. Like I like coding something and seeing it immediately change. So I really hate slow languages, slow compile languages, and embedded things because like just the overhead of like reflashing a flash or something like that, reflashing a board to like test some change is really painful. What's up, biggest eagle? I'm here. Ooh, dash in place? Oh, I'm gonna die. Maybe? Maybe we're alive? Aw, I totally dashed there. That's a bug. I didn't die. That wasn't the bug. That was a bug for sure. Dang, I almost had it. Let me get my cat food. My cat sits there and cries. I give her food, she runs away. I'm gonna lose it. But I wasn't really geared up very much. I didn't have any skill points purchased. I do have my myth board filled out though. So there's a little bit of stats, I guess, but. Does he munch you when his head hits you? There's the 3 things that shoot out. They just continually shoot out. So you kind of, so there's kind of like a constant munching. See this one? That's kind of the munch. Okay, I want to change 2 things. I want to do... This is all the stuff we've done. Let me just go to the top here. I need to blow my nose, hold on. Let me write these down first. We have change indicator colors to red. And then 2, we need to, I want to try and pass through a extra RNG seed to these squiggles for better randomness. I'll be right back. How much memory does it consume? Less than 200 megabytes usually. Like if you look under the mini-map, there's a little number. It's like down here. I'm over here pointing to it on my screen like you can see it. Like down here, there's a little number, which is usually between like 100 and 200. It might spike during like loading a map or something, but... Okay. With the rune poison, indicator base dark. Red. Let's try that. I'm trying to, yeah, this one's at 200 megabytes, looks like. I'm trying to reproduce a crash that someone was having, but it doesn't crash for me. All right, let's get to that phase. Okay, that's a lot better. I need to make the circles bigger. Oh, body, radius. Do I have a, like... I'm surprised I don't have a function that's like indicator with radius or something like that. I guess I should just build it. Bubble expand. It's just a configuration detail, I guess. I feel like I should just indicator base and pass the radius in. What's the default? 16. Wait, hold on. That feels too small for that one, but I guess it's okay. Laurendale explosions, we'll do 16. Here I want to do 24. I copied this from the succubus fight. All right, let's give that a shot. My rebuilds are so much faster since I finished the rewriting thing. Like I can change things very quickly now, which is super nice. But with this bug now where I hit the slash button, it types in 2 slashes like down here. I hit the slash button once and it types in 2 when it's like not entered. But it doesn't do it on browser, so. That's still too small. Indicator, base, red, body. I'm surprised this isn't the radius for it. Because collider must get set someplace, right? Let's go to the falling. The falling border one, boulder one doesn't. I mean, this must be what gets used. The radius? Body.radius equals whatever radius we passed in. We passed in 24. Hey, you know you had a Farquaad Easter egg? Wait, where? Which one? Oh. When you said egg, when you said Easter egg, I thought you were talking about one of the pet eggs. I thought you were talking about the pet eggs. And I know what you're talking about. You're talking about talking to the king. That's one of my favorite lines from that movie. Yeah, well, I was like, wait, which one? I was thinking like, oh, he's saying one of the pets looks like Lord Farquaad. I was like, wait, which one looks like him? Spiderling. I actually liked how the spider turned out. Let's see the explosions. I don't know why it's so small. It should be like, the ring should be like this size. Let's look at the spitters, the spitter worms, because they actually spawn the right indicator size. There must just be some thing, I don't know. By the way, game runs okay on a 2018 little potato laptop. I should hope so. What does okay mean? Is it 60 FPS? Dust burrow. Worm medium. Yeah, we do a grenade projectile. And we merge. What's radius? Impact radius. Huh. Oh, the impact radius, I think, is I don't remember what radius is for. It might be for the collider size. But we want an impact radius, which is used to scale the sprite, I'm pretty sure. Consistent 60? Good. It's crazy because 2018 to me doesn't sound that old. 2018 sounds like relatively new, but it's so many years ago. Like, when did I buy my laptop? I probably bought the laptop I have right now, I probably bought in 2014. It is wild how much faster your processors are, but how like slow software remains. Well, that drew two of them. That was weird. Gosh. I think I'm allergic to cats. Let's look at the spitters again, I guess. Poison spit. Oh, wait a second. Impact radius is for lobbed grenade type stuff. Wait, what scales this? Or maybe nothing can scale it. Oh, maybe you just have to scale it manually. Radius is probably the collider radius, but I probably have to I'm starting to realize what it is, I think. I have to do like this, for example. Is there no scale? Sprite scale. That is a little bit confusing, I guess. All right, hopefully this looks good. Perfect. I'll do 32, so it's a little bit bigger of a ring. Okay. That was that task. We also fixed the size of it as well. Yeah, then this one I wanted to do extra randomness, because right now the squiggles, if you shoot 2 squiggles at the same frame, then they'll squiggle at the same direction, because I use the frame to determine the random seed. I want to try to also use the frame and the original caster, I think. So let's try to do that. But first, I actually think the fight's pretty decent. It's maybe a little bit on the hard side, but I can always increase some weapon cooldowns and it'll be easier. This I don't need it anymore, I don't think. Okay, let's go look at how the squiggle shots get shot. Squiggle. Yeah, so like on death, we shoot this squiggle projectile. The tricky part with this is it has to be a networked ID, and it needs to be deterministic across all of the instances. Otherwise, the squiggles end up on a different direction. Because we have this server tick that goes in, current tick. And that gets used to seed any random generation that we want to do. The problem is if you shoot 2 weapons on the same tick, they end up with the same exact pattern. But I wonder if I use the caster ID. Yeah, see, this is a problem. If the original caster isn't set for some reason, then this is going to be a different number. Because the thing that dies to spawn it is a projectile, which has a non-deterministic ID. What I could do is I could take the caster ID, look it up. If it's networked, I know it's deterministic, and then use that. Actually, that's pretty reasonable. Then I'm trying to think, is there ever a case where one simulation would have a different original caster than the other? We'll add this. If it ends up not, what would this be? In weapon, maybe? What's up, Natsuki? How's it going? I'm doing good. Just finishing up the boss fight, doing like a few finalization things. And then we have to do, achievement and titles, which takes some art. We need to do the, we have to make items, update the item tracker, come up with a song to put in the dungeon. And, oh, then we have to make a whole set piece. Yeah, the worm boss. I'll show you. I don't know if this is that big of a deal. This one. The main problem is just that the first, like those two squiggles are the same squiggle because they shot on the same same tick. I'm just gonna leave it, I think. I'll put it in like my like to-do list thing. That's what it should do up here. Yeah, it's like this worm thing that I was working on. I think the boss fight's pretty good at this point. That'll be the first draft completion. Do I have any changes in other? What just happened? Update artwork. We'll pull in these changes as well. Anything in flow? Nothing. Okay. We'll do make upgrade. This will be a new dungeon boss. It'll be for the Dustboro Dunes biome. But I need to make a set piece boss. So you beat the set piece boss, then the dungeon drops, and then you fight this boss on top of it. I also never decorated the arena, did I? I might just throw some like bone decals around. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, it's like just straight dirt. might just throw some of these these rocks as well in here. Okay, I have snow decals. Huh. Huh. Or should I just do a decoration pass with this stuff? Do you have any idea the set piece will be? Well, I was thinking of doing like more stand-up worm type things. I did some art for it. Where is it? File. Or no, I put it in like concept. Biomes. I have like this guy. This is my original mock-up for the boss. He turned out pretty good though, I think. I'll do something like this. I don't know though. Maybe with some of these guys nearby. I'm not sure. That's evil. Are those the random scatterer types? Scatterer, what do you mean by scatterer? The decals, you can just set them in the atlas and they'll appear. For the decals, you just set them in the atlas and they will appear randomly in the dungeon? No, I mean like I have to place these. This is a map. I was just taking them out of the left side, which is kind of just like my list of whatever. It's just all the prefabs, so it's kind of hard to look them up. So I just wanted to have them like, you know. The end with the spikes could be the butt of the boss. I might just place these instead of doing a randomly generated decoration pass. Those worm patterns. I'm confused. I don't understand. Like these ones all rotate randomly. did I just do? The leftmost one. I don't know if I like this so much. I don't know, that's whatever, I guess. We'll do some clusters of things, I think. Maybe one that I didn't do. I'm gonna throw some of these in here. All right, let's give that a shot. I feel like I went too far from the edges in some cases. That feels pretty like, whatever. All right, let's go see how that feels. If it looks terrible, then I'll maybe try to do a procedural generation one. Yeah, for the set piece though, I'm not sure. I'll probably just have the one big guy with the head. Then I was gonna have like maybe 4 of the claw ones, like around it or something like that. I don't know. The only downside is I don't really like bosses that can't move. This looks a lot better. I'm trying to think if I want to change any tiles. I was wondering what this green was, but it's a poison splat. I want to add some, I think I'm going to add some floor tiles down, some like stone floor tiles. Just like a few little accents. Oh, is it this one? Nah, I don't know if I like that. I might just do little. Like little ones. Like things like this. I'll do one more right here. Okay. Let's test it. Set piece. What should I do for that? I mean, we could either go straight to the set piece or we do the items first. That looks pretty good. I like it. Okay. Set piece. Oh, that's weird. It goes below this rock. Does the head? Yeah, the head does as well. But I want this to be on top of the decal layer. Let me look at my render layers really quickly. Body. Wait, what layer did I put this on? Render layer. Oh, I just default, I guess. Wait, why is that one on the default layer? Is this a block? Does this block you? This should be on, this is on default layer, but it should be on the, I mean, it is kind of nice to be able to do this, but I think it's just a decal. Because I think the problem is the worm is on the decal layer. Or no, the worm's on the default layer. But there's a little bit of depth to this guy. Whatever. We'll just put him on the decal layer, I guess. I think it's in the object. I don't remember what prefab name that is. All right, desert rock, that's not it. Oh, these are not an anim, they're tagged. Tile. What am I missing it? They're in here. I think. Or they're in trimmed. Yeah, desert. Static desert. Rock small, rock large. Oh, this is not the right color though. It might be beach. Yeah, so it's static beach. Rock large. Yeah, declass at normal layer. Let's try this. I just want to see how it looks. Because it's not super important that the layering like always looks super good. It just can't look terrible. Yeah, so now you just like run over top of it. So there's no like depth on that, but I guess it's okay. I just have like a cycle of layering where like I can't have this guy on top of the worm on top of this, but then this be ever on top of this guy. Okay. That seems good. But I've started doing that for everything. Like this one's doesn't have a depth to it. It's just like on the ground. I think that looks okay. All right, I'm content with that. All right. Let's do something easy. Let's do the achievements and stuff. Minotaur Silted. Level type Silted Lair. These are for the chat titles. Now we need to do the chat titles. Well, the achievements unlock the chat titles is kind of how it works. Gonna make some new chat titles. Oh, we need names for them. We need to draw them. I'm gonna close this. What do I call it? Icon, oh, chat. I have a question. After the house tutorial, what do you have to do to get into the game world? Is there does it show an arrow on your minimap that tells you where to go? I think you're supposed to go talk to the wizard after that. This guy, like, look, my keyboard's like out here. I have to reach so far for this thing now. Hey, you talk to him? And I think he tells you... Wait, where are you? He tells you to talk to Thalarin, I think. That's right. I don't see your character. Oh, there you are. You're watching the video, I think. I had to log out for it to appear. Maybe it's my high ping. Oh, interesting. Wait, so could you walk me through what happened? You went and did the housing thing by talking to this guy? And then after that, it wouldn't work, or did you get sent to talk to Thalarin? So rip, poor guy. Sand crab got him. Yeah, but after that, the cursor on the map did not appear. It was between talking to him and talking to Thalarin, or it was after talking to Thalarin? Like, was the cursor missing from this area, or was it missing from him? Oh, from the wizard? Okay. I'm gonna write that down. All right. Do I ever do 2-word names? Ancient Guardian, I guess. Okay. All right. Sandswept Wanderer, Tremor Touched, Devourer's Bane, Burrow Runner. That's kind of cool. Echo of the Deep, Breaker of the Maw. Worm Shattered Champion. I like Burrow. I like Wanderer. Burrower. Wanderer. Worm Slayer. Dune Stalker, Tremor Walker, Worm Slayer. What's that movie where they do the sand walking? It's Dune, where they do the sand walking. The sand walking, what is it called? They dance on the sand. Sandwalk? That's what it's called? I will do Sandwalker. Yeah, Dune. Dun, 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 dun. Wanderer seems too generic, I feel like. Sand Prancer, Sand Walker, Dune Wanderer, Worm Slayer. This one feels like it shouldn't be one word, but I'm gonna make it one word because all the other ones are. It's Dune Wanderer, Sand Walker, Worm Slayer. All right. Maybe like a worm. Or we could just do like the head of a worm, maybe. Concept. Biomes. What is this size? 11 by 11. We have to go even smaller than this. We could also just take the top of this, maybe? My cat's laying on my keyboard now. Buddy, you're killing me. What are you doing? Come here. Oh. Alright. Finally created an account, try to get better. The game's for fun. Thank you, man. Yeah, let me know if you find any bugs or anything like that. Maybe like right here. It's still a little bit large. But the silhouette's nice, I think. The silhouette's doable. I don't like this. I think I prefer this one even. But there's no way this fits. Let me try this. I'm gonna shrink this down a little bit. Another worm is similar to Tiania Solium head. Oh, yeah. Kinda. I just want an icon to put on the chat. So I could do something like this, maybe. Or I could do like a mouth. What other things do we have in here that I could do? I could also just maybe do something like this, where it's just like the top of this part. Maybe that's actually the best. Most of them are a lot smaller. You think this one's cooler? I could also do something like this. I think I'm kind of leaning towards this one, though I don't love this shape right here. Like this right angle. This one, yeah. I'm gonna replicate this shape up here to this area. I kind of like that actually. Or what colors do I typically do? Let me do this one. Maybe we'll do a silver one. Then a colorful one, like a purple one maybe? I don't know. I'll keep the horns white. I might do a grayer though. I kind of want to make this darker. How's that? I like it. I like it. Go get her. Go get her. All right. Purple seems weird. I want to do red. Yeah, like that way better. I just have two cats. This one, Trunks, and I have the gray one, Luna. She's way sweeter. So he's looking over there because she's zipping around, and he's like wants to play, but he also wants to annoy me, so he can't decide who to annoy. Go chase her. You'd rather bump my mic. Trunks like Dragon Ball Z, yeah. That's where I got the name from. I always thought it was a super cool name. Okay. Let's go see if these are in game now. Why does this cause so much rebuild? This is an account. Oh, it's because I'm configuring inside of this. Okay. Oh, I didn't delete the other ones, I guess. I mean, honestly, the this one doesn't look bad. It actually looks decent. The reason I make them all, it's tough. The reason I make them all the same, I just recolor them, is just because it's too much work to draw like 3 unique sprites. So, but I might keep these for the future, but I might change them all just to the original ones. This one does look really good. I could also just do that. Yeah, that is true. Should have named him like Leonard or something. He was a pretty loud cat even when we had first adopted him too, so I think I kind of expected him to be annoying, but it's fine. I'm just gonna move these 2 to the end, and I might use them for the future. Because this one actually looks really good. This one doesn't look bad either, honestly. But we'll stick with similar patterns for now. Actually, yeah, it changed immediately. Look at that. All right, cool. That actually looks pretty good as well. This one does look a little bit cooler, but whatever. Chat icons are hard because they're so small. Add new chat icons. Push. Make upgrade. bird. Sapling. Do you not get cold from the fan? No? It's like going super slow. Those things super pointed upwards. My camera's super blurry. Okay. Oh, we have Silted Lair achievements now. What's next? I feel like the decorations, I feel like we did a decent enough job with the decorations that I might check that box as well. Let's go run around and just see. Like, this is pretty decent. It feels very dry, and I think I'm happy with that one. Scorpion Waste, I think is good. We have these little tunnel things, which I think look pretty cool. And then Sunscript, I think it has the most. It's got little pyramids. Yeah, okay. I'll say we did the decorations. I need like a task to myself for I need a task for myself for like mobs that I haven't added but I want to add to biomes, or like monster ideas or something. Like leftover monster ideas. It's funny. I realized the other day that I used to feed them at 1:30, but then the time changed and I continued to feed them at 1:30. But every time at like 12:30, this guy comes and bothers me because it doesn't know that the time changed. The time changed, buddy. You gotta wait a whole nother hour now. But let me feed him actually. All right, just today. I'll be right back. I'm gonna feed them and then we'll continue on this journey for the next tasks. But yeah, give me a second. All right. Achievements and titles done. Okay, we're gonna move. I wanted to make a leftover mobs. Let's see, red B. Like, brainstorming takes a lot of time, and I hate to waste like ideas that I come up with. Like a sand shrew with burrowing moves. I don't know, something like that. Maw. Hyenas? I don't know how to spell it. And then a beetle. We do the Dustboro set piece still. We have to redo this fight. Items, decorations. I'm not gonna do that. This is another idea. I don't know if I'm gonna do this one though. I might make a I might make another one that's like leftover set piece. I want to make more like blank, empty set pieces that people run into. Oh, we also have the gin. I wanted to add a drop for that guy. Okay. Let's finish Silted Lair and then we'll work on other stuff. Music or items? We really have to come up with it. Let's do items, I guess. Okay. Our Silted Lair. We manually decorated, so we don't need that. We need to do the items. We need to do the loot table. This will be a tier 3. Tier 3. Let's go to like Anubis. Look at that drop table. Desert biome loot table. What is this? Let's go to something that's newer. We'll go to like Gorthon's. Labyrinth. Boss loot roller. We have our static one. That's fine. Get static loot roller. Yeah, tier 3 equipment roller. This will be, what's it called? Desert biome loot table. Wait, is this just, yeah, I might not do that. I'm not sure. There's gonna be a pass I go back and do where I'm gonna rebalance stuff and rethink loot and all of that stuff. So we'll have to do that eventually. Okay. Oh, I have to do a pet as well. We need to do a worm pet. Or something. We don't have to do a pet. The problem is every dungeon has a unique pet. So then it's like every new dungeon I do, I feel like I need to make a new pet. Like if I don't add a pet, people are gonna be like, hey, what's the pet for this one? Dun, 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 dun. Did I do a seismic hammer? I did it in the special loot table, didn't I? Like I did it in Dustboro Dunes. Yeah, hammer seismic. And I did a wormhide bow as well. What's the special feature on this one? I don't even remember. Oh, lifesteal. Okay. That's decent, I guess. Not terrible. What would a pet look like? Where are my pets? Do I not have any in here? It might be in like Lair? This one maybe? They actually might be in, I might not do them inside of. I'm actually surprised. I know I did daggers in one spot. That was chest art. Items maybe? Yeah, I did some pets in here, I guess. Okay. Wonder if I can turn this into a little pet. Kind of like a snake or something. No pincers. The problem with some pets, like this looks too much like a mob. too much like a mob. Ding, 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 bum, 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 bum. Let's look at these item ideas that ChatGPT gave us. Burrow Fang Blade, Trimmer Pike. I do want to make a spear weapon. So we could do that here, I guess. Chitin Splitter, Deep Coil Staff, Sandsworn Bow. What if I made a ring, a rare ring you get that gives you health if you dash? My items. Ring that gives you HP when you dash. Like Sand Dancer. Maybe. I like that it's synergy. I probably would make it give you like 1 HP though. I feel like I can make a worm hide resource. Gear, maybe like poison resistance or something. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, we could definitely make worm hide gear. I could also maybe do some kind of wand or staff. I don't know what a good ability would be. Maybe probably poison themed or poison cleanse. I'm not sure what's better. You know what'd be cool? You know what'd be a cool worm pet? Is if you didn't see the worm at all you saw was like a ripple. And then when you stop, you just see his head poke out of the ground. Wouldn't that be cool? That's actually a pretty good idea. I might do that. So for the walk animation, you just see like a ripple. How'd I do that? I think I would just do like rolling dirt or something like that. or I would do like a particle trail. Maybe I just do a particle trail. Hold on. Where's my list? Worm pet. Moving. Just do a particle trail. Of like rolling, burrowed dirt. And then stopped. Have his head pop out of the ground. That might be kind of hard to do. It might look weird in some situations, but I think it's kind of fun. It's either that or we make like a worm looking like thing. Or we could do a floating one that looks like this, but shrunken down. But this might be a cool pet for a different biome, I feel like. Whatever. What is the book? What does the ability do in Ancient Ruins? Ability. Status cleanse. What does it cleanse? Only bind? Well, because I think what I can do is I can do this ability, which does bind, and then poison, and then make them books merge together. I'll do poison cleanse. Merge with, what's it called, book? Automaton. What's up, Roger? All right, listen to my item ideas for the worm boss. Okay, Sandwalker ring. It gives you HP when you dash. That'd be like a rare probably. And then I might make a new resource. I might just reuse chitin, honestly, as the resource, but maybe it'll be wormhide or something like that. And I might have some special like poison resistance. I'm not sure. I might do some kind of staff as a drop. And then I'll make the ability poison cleansing. And I'll probably make a merged recipe for another book that merges with the automaton book to cleanse both. And then the pet, I think I'm gonna do like a worm pet where when it's moving, it's just like a little particle trail of like dirt rolling over. And then when it stops, its head pops out or something like that. Those are my ideas. What do you think? I need the board's approval. All right. Sounds like a yes to me. Curious about the details of the ring. I probably would give people 1 HP per dash. You just immediately heal 1 HP. So if you dash, you get an instant healing. Quite underwhelming. Yeah, that's the problem is... Oh, is my stream cutting out? I don't know if this is my internet or if it's something else. Hopefully it comes back. But I seem like I'm starting to drop frames or something. Anyways. As long as it has usable stats on top of the effect, I can make it fine. Yeah, the other tricky thing is it's like, it's a tier 3 biome. It's a tier 3 biome, so I can't like make it super duper strong. Because if I ever want to make an expansion on the ring, then, or if I want to make an expansion on how fast people can recover dashing, like one ends up just overpowering the other too much. I could also do like a refresh time on it as well, where like you get 5 HP per dash every 30 seconds or something like that. My head is always very late game oriented. Yeah, true. Like this might not be the only ring that gives you HP on dash, right? So like, I just have to think about how dash scales with this ring and how this ring scales with dash, you know? But it's a cool synergy. I feel like dashing is like a cool event that we can hook a lot of things into. Like there's one skill that gives you cast some magic missile or something when you dash. Okay. Yeah, I could do a higher heal amount, but just make it like only every 30 seconds. Right? It's not that I don't want to make something strong that's useful for people. I just have to make sure it doesn't scale out of control. So. So yeah. I want to look at Chitin really quickly. Bum, 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 bum. So we'll have a pet, we'll have, what file is this? Okay, Silted Lair. Pet, ring are the rares, and then maybe some wand. Resource, abilities for this, and we'll do a crystal shard for the other table. Okay. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to pull off the worms thing, but if I don't, I'll just make some little slug thing that follows you around. I don't know. What is it? Pet worm. Ring. They could also be boots, Sandwalker boots. It could also be a ring. I don't know. What if the cleansing effect spellbook also applied the effect that is being cleansed to enemies in the radius? So it could be offensive too. The cleansing spellbook also applies the effect that is being cleansed to the enemies in the radius. Oh, that's actually an interesting idea. So the Collider cleanses players, but applies the status effect to nearby mobs. That's interesting. What if spellbook might be the cleansed effect to nearby mobs in the... That would be a pretty cool feature. That'd be easy to add as well. My idea with the cleansing books was I was planning to do cleanses from different types and then merge them all into one. So for the merged one though, I probably wouldn't be able to do that. Because if there was like a fire cleanse book and like a bind cleanse book and like a poison cleanse book, it would be too much, I think, to give it, like apply all of those status effects to, maybe it wouldn't, I don't know. Like my goal was to make like, by the time you hit tier 5 biome, you could possibly get all of the books with different cleanses and then combine them into one, like final one. I don't know though, because it might be cool to have a different fork off where they go in a different direction. They just become more offensive rather than being more defensive. It's a good idea. I do like the idea. I just it wasn't the path I planned, so maybe it would be better to just do a separate path for it. Or it would be cool just to do it for the default books, and then when you merge them, you don't get that effect, I guess. But I'm gonna do a ring, I think. Sandwalker ring. Feels like a magical effect, but I don't know. Drawback because the combined effect of all cleanses is as good as it is. Oh yeah. Just being able to cleanse anything. Or like most of the negative ones. Yeah, I mean, there's probably gonna be a lot of item changes once I go back and start rebalancing. Once I have all the content in place. Yeah. I almost wonder if I should be doing this like along the way or if I should just wait. So I think it's just gonna be multiple iterations of going through the entire game like several times. It's just hard. It sucks to like, because I kind of did this for the early biomes, but then I had to add more content. So it kind of sucks to like rebalance stuff and then like, oh, now I gotta add like new things. But I guess I know the early game's kind of balanced. It's just hard to have like a long-term vision when I'm like getting chopped up. I don't know, whatever. All right, we'll do a ring. We'll do the, I don't know if I'll do worm hide, I'm not sure. Venomous staff. That makes me think too much of like, it makes me feel like it's a spider. There's another game I've been following for a long time with a solo dev called Crab Champions, and he's doing your style. He's iterated on the same thing many times. It gets better and better. Yeah. I mean, that's what kind of happened with Mythfall. Like, I'm pretty happy with how stuff has turned out. It's just like, you have like so much stuff, like so much content you have to do. And there's not like a very obvious way of like, what's the best way, the most efficient, best quality way to like revise everything to be good. So I think what I'm gonna do is just literally play through the game and slowly tweak stuff, play through it again and slowly tweak stuff. Like, I think it just comes down to, I have to play the game a bunch and I have to I have to play the game a bunch and I have to like rebalance it along the way. And just keep doing that. Digester's spine. I don't have a poison staff, do I? Oops. There's this one, Spore Wand, but it doesn't apply poison. I'm gonna make this a wand. Dun, 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 dun. I can also do worm rot staff or worm rot wand. I inspired you to start a long-term project. Nice. Best of luck. It is fun, but there are going to be moments, and depending on how long-term your project is, there's definitely going to be some moments where you're like, well, why am I doing this? Why didn't I do something smaller? Did I do a seismic hammer? I did, okay. Okay, we got that one now. Go through the ability. I don't know if I like the ability system, honestly. Not that I don't like the ability system. I don't know if I like the fact that it's books and book pages. I don't know. Sometimes I like stuff, but then I get too familiar with it and I stop liking it. I could, yeah. I was thinking about doing it more like items. It doesn't, or making it so it doesn't necessarily have to be a book. I don't know though. I like giving players abilities. It just feels stupid for me to like, I have to make 3 things that are like the same exact thing, and then I combine them into a book, which is like the same thing but a little bit stronger, you know? I don't like that part of it. I like the fact that each dungeon gives you some unique ability, but I don't like that it's this weird, like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I just like, I don't know why I'm doing 3 things that combine to 1. In some cases it's cool. Yeah, like I could just drop the book and then like, that would be like just as, people would be just as happy. They wouldn't have to grind to complete the dungeon like 10 more times to get all that they need to. So, I don't know. That's just something that I always think about. Like, it just artificially inflates the number of items in the game. Because like, I doubt I'll ever make a book that's comprised of different pages, you know? So it just feels silly. But then if I did books, then I could also make certain items let you do abilities as well. I don't know, it's weird. I don't know how long it is, but I want to build a Discord app like C++ Qt. I haven't coded in C++ in 10 years, and server in C++ stuff on it might take a long time, at least for me. Yeah, I mean, you just gotta start small and build into it, build a little proof of concept, and then hopefully that'll turn into something good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's see here. Oh, egg worm. Ring sandwalker. I do like the egg thing. I like the eggs, incubating them. What's up, Glitchson? I don't think you remember me. I do remember you. How's the project going? I mean, I don't remember off the top of my head. I might remember some of the conversations if we've had some. It's hard because I bump into a lot of people. We'll have the Digester's Spine as the third wand. I think 3 rares is pretty good. I'm not sure what to do for this. We could just do a Chitin Fragment. And that would be it. I'm a senior software dev that's going into game dev. Oh, nice. At a company or your own indie studio? I could do like wormhide leather, stuff like that. It could work. What I like about your game is that you made your backend engine on your own, and I actually have some questions if you don't mind. Yeah, sure. I'm happy to answer whatever I can. All right, I need to design these. Oh, let's finish this first though. This is what gets shown for the. Where'd my cursor go? Oh. Your game got blurry for some reason, FYI? Yeah, I noticed that. I don't know. Oh, it got very blurry. Focus. There we go. Whew. All right, I'm just gonna leave it here. So the question is, hold on. My day job is at a software company, but on indie game dev, just myself. I gotcha, yeah. The question is, what's the front end of the game? Is it made in Godot or something? You made your own engine. I made my own rendering engine on top of OpenGL and WebGL for the browser version because I compiled to both WebGL and OpenGL for desktop and then for browser. So I just wrote my own front end rendering library, kind of like Raylib would be like a framework you might draw in. I just wrote my own in OpenGL, which was fun to learn, but probably a mistake long term. But for the language I used, it was kind of like it was a reasonable solution at the time. But I might move to something a little bit more formal at some point. But yeah, Go compiles to WebAssembly, so the front end of the game in the browser at least is just a WebAssembly binary. Okay, so I've thought about making my own networked game too, but for some stuff like MMORPG, I don't know how to tell the backend positions in the positions in real world of the NPCs or the players. Maybe I can send them, but I don't know how to interact with them or send the nav mesh layer, if you want to call that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how game engines do it, but you have to just be very particular about like what stuff you're going to send over the network and then how the client's going to respond to it. So like, I have special messages. I have like a bunch of components that the server can send to the client. And then the client sends like a very minimized input packet of like which keys they're pressing and like where they're aiming and if they're firing and stuff like that. And then the server and the client both simulate what's going on. And the server has to process other stuff, right? Like it's got to process monsters and other AI entities, and it might move them around. And then it's got to tell the client that like, oh, this monster moved from this position to this position. So the client's got to interpolate that movement so it looks smooth. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty involved. It'll take a while to get all that stuff going. If you're making a real-time game, if you're making like a slower paced game like RuneScape or something, then it's probably a little bit easier. The thing is the following. I saw a lot of tutorials to say just make the server in the game engine and compile it headless, but the build is too heavy and expensive. I prefer on making it in Nest.js or Express.js. I know it's not the best, but it's what I'm best at. Yeah, I don't know what Nest.js or Express.js are because I don't do front end stuff. I assume they're front end like frameworks, but maybe they're not. I don't know. They're backend libraries for JavaScript. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, I mean the challenge, like if you're using a game engine for the game and then you're using a backend JavaScript framework for the backend, that can work, but just keep in mind that it just depends on what kind of game you're making. If you're making like a physics-based game, now you've got physics running in here and you've got to reprogram all of that physics in JavaScript to simulate the backend, right? So like that's why people build a headless version of their client and put it on the backend. Because you have to have some kind of like core simulation, because you don't want clients to tell you where they are. You want to have them tell you what they're doing, and then you want to have the server be able to know exactly where the client is based off of their inputs. So the server should be independently verifying where the client thinks that they are. So like you have to program the whole physics layer. If you're building a physicsy game, you have to build the whole physics layer in JavaScript. So that's the challenge with using a different, that's the challenge with using a different language and not using your engine. But if you're making a simpler game, it might work. That also increases the cost of server maintenance, but yeah, it increases the complexity by having you have to code your own physics system and make your engine one. Okay. Alright, let's do the pet first. We'll just go in line, or we'll go in the order. I might go in reverse order because the book is kind of calling to me right now. Oh look, we're already on it. Automaton. Immolation is a tier 3. Oh, I guess because it comes from that one guy, huh? Automaton is going to be replaced with... I might just call it Silted. What's wrong? So what are you doing, buddy? Earn some estimated cost with a simple game having no physics calculation, engine server build, and one made one backend library in SJS, and the difference cost was ginormous. I'm back. Yeah, game engines can be super non-performant sometimes. Like it just, I mean, it's hard because it just all depends. There's no like right answer to anything. But like, because when you don't use a game engine, you don't have to use all of there's no like buildup of cruft that the game engine enforces because it's trying to solve a general problem. So when you build your own custom like collision or something like that, you can say like, oh, all of my colliders are squares. So like that saves me like tons of processing time now because I don't have to do any complicated shape conversion stuff, you know? So did I change the name? Did I change the... I did, okay. Okay, I did. All right. Usually bundle a lot of stuff with them, yeah. Well, the problem is they have to solve a general problem, and if you don't have to solve a general problem, you can make something pretty precise, which will be a lot higher performance. Tier 3, uncommon. What should I call this book? Gosh, this cat, I swear. I love you, but you lay on my keyboard way too much. Okay. Tome of Purging Sands, Digester's Prayer, Codex of Renewal, Manual of Molting, Burrower's Remedy. I kind of don't like any of those. I might just call it like Anti-Venom. Book of Anti-Venom. Wait, why is this after ability immolation? Did I paste this in the wrong spot? I'm just gonna do Book of Anti-Venom. Or I'm gonna call it Anti-Venom something. Tier 3. Tier 3. Poison is actually a pretty strong status effect. Antidote sounds good? Alright. I'm just gonna put it to do to come up with a description. All right, that does that one. Those are all done. Those 4 are done now. We need to go do a wand. Wand, tier. Solar wand. Let's copy that guy. I'll just replace solar with digester. Tier 3 uncommon. This will be a rare. Color. Well, we'll do green. Green 4. I don't know. We'll have to see what that looks like. We don't want to do bulk burn. We want to do poison. Can I see your own custom engine? I'm really curious. How did you make it? Why did you choose a custom engine instead of established solution like Godot, for example? I'm curious on how you manage time lapse and stuff. Like, how do you paint them and stuff? How do you place the monsters? Yeah, I mean, I do a lot of procedural generation. I pretty much find what the easiest solution is going to be for everything. Like, it's hard because I can't really like show you my engine because it's very program based. So it's just like, it's all kind of in code. I do have my GitHub though, that I can link you. I have an editor. I mean, I can show you my editor. It's not really like a game engine though. Like it's like a map editor. But it's mostly just building map files. But if you look at the GitHub, Glitch is my rendering library. Flow is just some components that I use for different things. ECS is my ECS library for holding game components. Packer is like sprite packing, which I still use. RTCnet is my networking. It's like a wrapper around WebRTC. Envoy is my bidirectional RPC framework on top of the Golang net.con. And then COD I use to generate serialization code, like code to serialize stuff quickly. It's more like a code gen thing. But yeah, this is like my map editor. It's just like lets me like when I like draw like dirt somewhere, like just for like designing maps and whatever, you know. And I can switch to like, I hit the button E and it switches me to entity mode, and then I can like grab entities, move them around or whatever. So yeah, like this is kind of how it works. And then I just save this to a big file. And then I render things in chunks. You can see these gray boxes. These are each chunks. And I basically have like a generational flag. So like if I paint something here, then the generation gets bumped for this chunk, and then the chunk knows it needs to get re-rendered. I paint it back and it re-renders everything. And that's kind of how I do chunk rendering. So yeah. I mean, it all comes together. You just have to like solve individual problems, see the problems with how your solution, like you'll solve it the wrong way and then you'll have to solve it again. But yeah, I mean, all it is placing tile maps and placing entities. And there's object layers as well, which are also like, this is like object layer. It's mostly just like entities that don't really have any, they're like passive entities. They just kind of sit there, you know, but they need to tile together. So it just matters what you need, right? So. All right, this will be the digester wand. The ring next. What was I gonna call this? Ring Sandwalker. I pretty much need to go back and do rings for everything, or descriptions for everything. This we'll have to make a whole new stat system for. Do you think that the reason your builds take a long time is because CGO uses C graphics libs? It does kind of. The reason it was taking a long time though is because I was coupling my data with my functions. And I have a lot of things that depend on all of the data, but the functions are, the functions, like the things that needed to build, needed to know the data definitions for things, but they didn't need to know the functions for all of them. So what happened was all of the functions had to keep continually being rebuilt every single time. So the build times are a lot better now because I pulled the data to their own package. So now the data gets built really quickly, and then the stuff on top of that can import it immediately. Instead of having to build like this massive package with all of these complicated functions, do these weird optimizations to do it all and stuff like that. But why do you use ECS? What advantages do you find on it? I just like that. I mean, like to some degree you have to do some kind of like component based, like you need to have entities, and entities are comprised of components. You need some sort of model to hold that. And then how you represent that in memory is kind of just up to you. So I do a tile mapped thing. Like that wasn't procedural generation. That was like explicit. I was just like saying this tile is this thing. And then the rendering side, it just says, oh, this tile is this thing. Let me look up the map for it. And then you auto tile it. But it's not procedural. It's just all tile map based. Yeah, I solved it for all the server stuff. So now my mob files, when I like update boss fights and stuff like that, it rebuilds really, really quickly. I haven't done it on the client side yet because the client side wasn't really that big of a deal. But once I start doing some more UI work, I'll probably will like rethink it. All right, we have to do this still. We have to make a stat for this, the dash give health thing. All right, let's do the or it's not worm, it's egg, or maybe it's in pet. I'll replace spiderling with worm. Worm egg. It's so weird to say that because worms don't, I assume worms don't come from eggs, right? I don't know. I'm unsure. All right, now I get the worm item built. Worm. Obviously, we still have to do a bunch of artwork, so let's build this and just, oops. That was my editor. That was my last build command, was showing the editor. There we go. You think the God object approach is a bad one for games? I think for simple games, it's not a bad approach. Like, I think you should have to justify any kind of complexity that you need. Hold on a second. Oh, digester. I think you should have to justify any complexity. They're insects, they lay eggs. Do worms lay eggs? Hold on. Do worms lay eggs? Oh yeah, they do. Oh, you're right. They actually do lay eggs. I feel better now. You guys were right. Worms do lay eggs. Are they insects though? I thought insects were like had to like fly or something. I don't know. I'm not a biologist. But I think you should have to justify any complexity you're going to add. So if you're going to try to get away from like having a God object or something like that to run your entire game, then then what you're going to is a distributed thing where like this package manages all of this thing and this package manages all of this thing, and these like don't really know about each other. So if your game is complex enough to where you need stuff like that, then by all means do it. But I do have a few like God objects, you know. I didn't hear the answer to the ECS question, my bad. What did I say about ECS? Oh, I think I just said that like you need some kind of, like you have entities and they need to be composed of components probably. So ECS is just like how you would map that into memory. So you need like some way to map it to memory. ECS is just one way to do that. I don't mind it. I think it's fine. You can do it in different ways if you want, but it's just like whatever you like, whatever feels good is what you should do. I do use ECS in this MMO, yeah. The thing with ECS is like, it's just like an array. Like if you, it just depends on how many components you have. If you don't have that many components in your game, then you shouldn't use ECS probably. If you're not going to be composing your components into like tons and tons of different things, then you probably don't need ECS. But there's like some things it's nice about, some things that are not nice about it. You kind of just have to like try it and see how it goes. And yeah. Let's see. I put my eggs in where? Probably inside of tagged. We'll do it in the section. I guess we'll do it next to Scorpion. When I first tried to draw this one, I tried to make it like I tried to do like a tail around. Oh no, wait, when I tried to do the succubus one, I tried to do that. It was really hard though. They're not insects. So I was right. That's whatever, I guess. Oh, I saw your game has this thing like housing. How are you managing that in the game? Is it like a persistent game world? Where once there's no more space left, no one will be able to build anymore. Do you have separate instances? How do you handle that? I do like kind of an overlapped instance thing. Like you can see it here. This is this player's house. There's this like housing region where like this is what you can buy land. This is like one more block next to you, and this is one more block next to you. This is one more block next to you. So it's instanced per player, and then everybody's houses overlap. So when you go into your house, everybody else disappears, and then when you run outside of your house, you'd see people in their house doing their whatever they're doing in their house. So yeah, that's kind of the solution I went to. I could put it in instance dungeons. I just wanted everyone to stay in the town though. I think it's more cool to like see people than it is to not see people. Good bot. Good bot, Roger. How do you choose which house to render when many players have the same lot? Everybody renders their own house. Thank you, 421, running something on Grok. For the follow, appreciate it, man. Welcome. Yeah, everybody, it only renders your house. I do have an idea. I did have one idea of doing like a neighbor. So like you could, maybe I could take someone else's house and put it next to you. And then you could like change who your neighbor was and you could see your neighbor's house that way. Then you'd have your house and you'd have your neighbor's house. This is the Halloween event. That's why that's kind of like crammed in here. But I think that'd be a cool feature to add. But it's like one of those things where it's not like a game. It's not that important. So they might be running in an empty lot for me if I have no house. Everyone's got a house. It's always this. You always get this block for free. And then you can purchase more blocks on top of that. So this is your house. You would never see any other player's house. So like when you see a player, like if you stood here and you saw some player running around, from their perspective, they'd be running inside of their house. From your perspective though, you see them running inside of your house. So like if you see someone run into here, it looks like they're running into their house. I'm gonna do like a more precise like fading thing. Or like maybe I'll do like a roof or something like that. So when you walk outside of your house, it like roofs or something. I don't know. Or I might just have them like fizzle away. Like they fizzle, fade in or fade out or something like that, you know? There's an invisible barrier that makes the player invisible once you enter it, so you don't see players. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's right. This is going to be Worm. This freaking cat, dude. He's like laying so as long as he can. He stretched out as far as he can. You died to the Halloween event earlier. Poor guy. Do you want to see a Minesweeper clone I made using the exact sprite? Do you want to see the Minesweeper clone I made using the exact sprites and specs from the Windows 98 one? Yeah, sure. If you have a link to it. Boom. A link on a public website, I mean. Or like a screenshot to like Imager or something like that. Okay, we did the worm. Oh, we have to do the pet still. I tried sending the link. You send it in Discord or something, or? I don't see it in YouTube. YouTube might block links. I don't know. I'd be surprised if it didn't block links, because Twitch does it as well. Let's just start with this for the worm pet. We'll copy the spiderling. How about that? Oh, I can't paste in here. Pet worm. I think I want to do like this. And then when he's moving, he won't. I'll leave both frames, but he won't see anything when he's moving. Another question. Let's talk about your procedural details decoration. How do you handle that each time you restart the server and the decoration stays the same? By seed, or you just don't care? Some of it's seeded so that it's exactly right every single time. But some things I don't care, and I just like for example, if it's going to be like rotating a sprite a little bit, like deciding a rotation for some decal on the game, I won't. I pick some random number and I use that. But for the stuff that does matter, like walls that you collide into and stuff like that, like whether or not to put a rock that blocks your movement, that stuff has to be exactly the same for every single player. And so I use a random number generator, or I seed my random number generator, I should say. Oops. Ring. So many rings. I might delete this. Did I ever use this? Sand ring? Is this a ring? Does anyone know? Did I use this ring? I guess we could look. Hold on. Ring. I think I was like starting to design biome specific items. I don't know if I ever used this though. I don't see it anywhere. It would be item ring sand. It's got like a pyramid on it. It does kind of look like a weak dex ring, but pointy. I think I was trying to do like a pyramid. I don't think it was used, okay. Is there a way to store a seeded number, or is it just an online number generator that's enough? I mean, I network over, the server tells the client when they enter a map, the server tells the client what the number seed is, and then the procedural generation algorithm is deterministic. So as long as the seed is the same, you'll end up with the exact same map every single time. I don't really want to do a gem though. Oops. Ah, that's pretty good. I like. This will be the Sandwalker ring. Done. I see you use a long param in the URL. Why is that OTP? I just use that for like the one-time password for connecting the OAuth stuff. So like you OAuth to the auth side server, and the auth side server redirects you back with an OTP that's can only be used once. And I think it lasts for like 10 seconds or something like that. So it just loops back, and then it's just in the query string. There might be other ways to do it. I don't know though. So I just use that. It's just like a, I don't think it's a UUID, but it's some kind of, it's probably a JSON web token thing. Then the token gets invalidated, and then you get a like long duration password, just in case it gets intercepted by something or someone sees it or something like that. Okay, let's see what some of the sprites look like in the game. My arms are like out here. This is where my keys are. I have one over here and one over here, with my cats laying across my entire desk. This freaking little rat. This guy's so freaking spoiled, dude. I have no idea. Trunks needs so much. I know he does. You use HTTP cookies? Yeah. Or I don't know if I use an HTTP only cookie, but I do use a cookie. I don't know why I entered this. There's our worm egg. That looks good enough. I don't really like it too much, but we need to do the book as well. And all the pages. And the ring. Well, the ring didn't get taken. Is this all of them? Look at this. He's laying on my hand. I can't even move my hand now. Oh gosh. There you go, buddy. somehow I got him to stretch out more. Item ring sandwalker. This should be a 0. Item pet worm. This should work. Huh. Yeah, pet worm, look. Oh, I need to have there is pets are animated, so I need to have an icon for them. Buddy, I can't. Alright, here we go. We'll just do this, I guess. This is my life. Alright, this will be the icon. This is freaking guided. That's gonna be so cool. Just do like a little particle trail behind him that like just rummages through the dirt. Then he pops up and just sits there. That's gonna be such a cool pet. Alright, the ring art's done. We have to do the book. Is that all that's left is the book art for icons? I think there was one other one. Oh, there's the wand we haven't found. Let's find that really quickly. Just to have it in my inventory. Where do I put my wands? I really don't have that many wands, huh? There we go. Okay. Yeah, this is so hard to draw. Okay. What do we want to do first? I guess let's do the book pages. Alright, we need to iron you out. Let's rotate you this way. There you go. Alright. Perfect. Alright. My shoulder can... I'm not chicken winged over here. Ability. I think it could be cool to have some items that you compose that like come together and get built into something. I just think it's just too many items. Like one of these. That looks pretty good. Digester's spine. We need to do a wand. Weapon. Oh, I put in staff. I think it's got to be a spine looking thing. So I kind of want it to be differently shaped. Why'd I do that? I'm gonna do this. All right, that looks pretty good. Was that the last one for icons? Will that not pick it up? Oh, staff wand. All right, let's give that a run. Let's give that a run. Okay, I kind of like that. It should cause poison. Yeah, poison, 10% chance. gonna be such a good weapon for Silted Lair. Is there a tier 3 throwable yet? Does gold throwing knife count? Maybe I should give these guys this. Maybe I should give this monster more health. Just because they're so close together, it's like. I really outdid myself on this boss fight. That looks so cool with the skulls, like the poison skulls chasing. I should give them invulnerability phases. That looks sick. I still need a music song for it. Also, I'm invincible, which is why this is so easy, but... Now that I have this behavior though, this thing set up that I can do characters like this, I can definitely add more like advanced boss fights, which are just composed of limbs like that. That just like fly, like I'm thinking things that like fly around or something would be kind of cool. This terrible loot. Yeah, where's our boy Chris? I know. Yeah, where's Chris when you need him? I might DM him and say like, hey man, got any songs for me? I feel bad. I feel like I'm just like begging. Okay, digester spine is done. Yeah, I think he'd be fine with it. I just feel bad because I find a song I like and then I'm like, hey man, can you like make this public so I can download it? And he's like, yeah, sure. I need to go through and list like all the ones I want to get. Maybe you can just send them to me or something. Oh, we still need to do the ability for this. Let's go and chest. I just want to check boxes. So let me just see what's already done. I think the digester's spine is good. Some kind of wand or staff is done. Cleanse poison, 90% chance. Oh, it's a lower chance. Funny. All right, let's go get poisoned. I know just the place to get poisoned. It looks like a little mace. Oh, I died. Are you kidding me? My cat was too busy digging his claws in my stomach. Oh, I can't. Now I've already saved my character too because I came back. Well, oh, let's go get that book. Here it is. Anti-venom. Oh, I can't re-enter. Spawn dung, level type, silted, lair. I have to survive just long enough to get poisoned. Do I have enough mana for this? 20. All right, good. All right, looks like it cleansed. That's done. How does this cat find the worst places to sit? All right. We need the item tracker. We need to do that. We need to do worm hide. We might not do that at all though. Sandwalker ring. Let's do that next. We might have to make a new stat. We probably do have to make a new stat. It'll be like very similar to arcane friction. Oh, this gives you mana? Oh, this is gonna be like identical except for health. Vital dash, second wind, rejuvenating step, life rush, recovery, sprint, renewal burst, vital momentum, blood rush, life leap, vital surge, hemorrhagic step, crimson dash, thirst bound, pulse step. I could call it like vital friction, that way it mirrors. Life recoil, survival impulse, crimson momentum, renewal drive, vigorous motion. We're getting ChatGPT, give me a name. Vital friction, crimson friction, kinetic friction, surge friction, life friction, pulse friction, regen friction, rigorous friction. All right, we'll do vital friction. Gain mana handler, gain. I don't think these have to be in order. I don't think I serialized this stuff. Oh, this is a skill tree node that gives you arcane friction. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right, let's go to ring. All right, stat type vital friction. Let's try that. I'm not sure how this is gonna look in the tooltip, but we'll see. Excuse me. Do 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 do. There's so many things I have to do. Like, I want to recode how all the stats get applied. I want to do what Path of Exile does. I know they do a staged stat calculation as well. I just need to figure out how to word everything so it makes sense for people. That's probably the most confusing thing right now. Not the most confusing, but that is a confusing thing. Upon dashing, gain 1 health. I have not played Path of Exile 2. I haven't played the second one. I played the first one a little bit. This doesn't seem to be working. Unless that was a H. Oh, there's 1. 2. Wait for it to go to 3. Dash. Okay, it did work. I think. Yeah, dash, I got 1. Is it showing up though? +41. I want to see if it shows the +1. Yeah, it's not showing the +1. Thank you, Super King, for the raid, man. Appreciate it. How's your stream today? What's up, Professor Logout? How's it going, man? What's up, man? Back for more boss fight? I can show you what it's at right now. It's pretty much done, actually. Right now I'm adding the loot items for the boss fight. Let me just there's a new level. I did some decorating around the room. This is a single room dungeon. That's our guy. This is my god sword, so it does tons and tons of damage. Just for testing. Yeah, he like the tails part shoots out these little poison things that drop, and then the limbs all shoot these squiggles and lines and circles and stuff. And the mouth shoots these like 3 big ones that like chomp at you. If you destroy him in half, he splits into another one. And there's these phases that happen where a bunch of poison gets spit and they spawn some minions. So like 3 little guys get spawned. And then this is like the second phase where these spitter guys that shoot poison get spawned. But then also a bunch of room poison gets spawned as well. So you beat them. And there's like one more minion phase at like 3 or 4 guys or something like that. Yeah, this is the last one. There's 2 spitters and 2 of these large larvas. These ones like split into, I killed all of them at once, but they split into these small larvas. Yeah, we get our loot. Oops. But right now I'm making this ring where when you equip it, if you dash, you get 1 HP back. I have one similar for mana. It's working, but there's like not a +1. Like I want a green +1 to appear above the player when they do it. And I know I have an event queue or something like that does this. Yeah. Yeah, I want to just emit an event. Game, man events, add, health event. Is that not a thing? I'm actually surprised I don't have that. I'm sure I'll find something similar. Still can't believe this is Go, yeah. It's the language is Go for sure. But it's very far from the typical Go program, I think. But it's come a long way. If you look at my like super early YouTube videos, they're like super get it super. No, they're super like it looks really bad. So it's a lot better. It's a lot better now. All right, let's go to our plugin. Would it be in here? Let's see where we handle the mana events. I could do a text pop-up event. No, because that goes above the head, I think. What is in here? Like what's in this struct? Just amount and the ID? Okay. Mana on death. This was kind of my older way of doing it. I'd have these event queues and then I'd process them in a system. But I have this newer way of doing it. Which I call observers, and I can just trigger an event and they'll immediately execute the next world sync time. I wonder if I do something like that for health. Set music, achievement completed, ambient lighting, HUD warning, begin interaction, smoke ring, regenerate character, trade request, teleport animation, local player death, flash UI, quest complete, quest task event, spawn prefab, camera shake. I guess I don't have one for health. Let's go look at the regeneration code, because the regeneration code I know somehow like submits something to be rendered. Oh, it's a damage event because how I did health, how I did healing was I just did negative damage, which I think was probably a mistake. Because now I have to have these to-dos. Negative means heal. All right, let's see here. Yeah, it also attaches a bunch of stuff that's like not really related to getting healed. But this I think will work, so we'll see. Now we dash, we should get a +1 as well as get healed. Because the healing was working, which is this line. We just want to see the, we want like a visual cue for the player. So they know they're getting healed. It's weird how some like visualizing some change matters almost more than the change itself. Let me put that ring on. Do I have a character with nothing? Okay. There's our Sandwalker ring. I think if I change it to be not a +1, make it a set, I think it'll be a better tooltip. Ring. I think I just do this. Let me rebuild. Because it says like +1 and then it shows the stat description. But I think if I do it this way, it'll just say the stat description. Yeah, you gain this the stat. Gain upon dashing, gain 1 health. Oh wait, we need to go to we need to go. No, we don't want to get poisoned. That was the other one. We want to take some damage. Yeah, it looked like it worked. That's the regen, and then this is the dash. Okay. Cool. That's a cool little feature. Okay, that is the Sand Walker ring completed. Gives you HP when you dash. I think 1 is actually a good number, because I think what's going to happen is there's going to be items that give you faster dash cooldown and more dashes. And if I make it more than 1, I think it's just going to be too strong. I'm not sure if I'm going to do Wormhide as a resource, because if I make it a resource, I need to make a bunch of things that it crafts into, and I don't really have that yet. So I'll just have him drop Chitin, I think. Yeah, we have a to-do there already, good. I will, though. I'm going to copy this into my leftover items idea list. Okay, what else? We have to go back and rewrite all the descriptions, and then we need to finish the worm pet animation. I'm not sure exactly. Let's go pick one up. Yes, my idea for this guy is he'll just like stick out of the ground like this, but then he burrows around when you're not when you're moving. I'm gonna do like a particle trail or something that's just like dirt, like rummaging or something. He'll just pop up. I think I'm gonna do black on the borders of that though. If I can find it. We did that one already. Yeah, that looks way better. Okay. I don't know if I have an easy way. Let's go to, I have some pet config thing, which decides how the pet gets spawned, or like what it gets spawned to look like. I don't remember though. I can just throw like a trail or something probably. Pet yard pet. And then this is the pet follower. So I have to add this to both sides. That's a little confusing, but I guess it's okay. But basically what we'll have to do is we have to look at this pet config, and if it has a particle trail, we have to attach the particle trail to it. I'm just gonna do like a trail. I'm gonna make it a Boolean. I'm gonna go to hard code on the other side. Just temporarily. It's been so long since I've done a particle trail though, I don't remember how exactly I do it. I know I did some projectiles have it. I just add a particle emitter component, I guess. If pet cfg dot trail. Oh, this is it's tricky because this is in the client and the server, so I don't have access to this component. Oh no, I do. I don't have access to this component though. Oh, but I can just pass it through that way. I see. Okay. Yeah, I guess I just do factory.build int. And then I just need this to define something. I'm just gonna copy this. I think that will work because I don't remember what the component is. It's in well, hold on, let's go to build. Then I have a custom add function, sprite data. Yeah, particle emitter data adds particle emitter component. All right, cool. All right, let's go to pets. True. This is gonna be like a smoke particle trail, but at least it should emit it. I'm not super convinced this is gonna work, but if it does. Then we'll just have to change the sprite that the particle is, and probably how some of the movement is, because this movement's going to be like upwards. We want it to just like, I don't know, fold or something. I don't know exactly how this will, like, I'm not sure exactly what I'll do, but like, this is a situation where this build shouldn't take this long because this system is in like a central package, but this system can go into like a more leaf package, and that would make it so I don't have to rebuild everything when I change things like this. Like, I'm changing this code and then I'm rebuilding way too much stuff just because of poor organization. Oh, it's gonna be extra tricky because, I mean, we got the particle system, but when he's idle, I don't want him to be doing this. I didn't think about that. That might be kind of tricky. Also, his shadow has to disappear. Like, he shouldn't have a shadow. Actually, how did I draw this sprite? I put him at the bottom, huh? That seems better. Yeah, so what we'll probably do though is trail will just end up being a particle. Like that. Hold on, before it starts constantly trying to rebuild itself. I'm gonna go ahead and add another one, which is hide shadow. I might just do shadow string. Really, this should get passed through as one thing though. We'll do factory data. The sprite will always be there. If I guess I could go past set a shadow for each of these. The problem is most of them have a shadow. Like, I don't want to make the configuration super complicated. I'm just gonna do for now. I'm just gonna do hide shadow. If not, hide shadow. Sprite, or sorry, pet cfg dot hide shadow. Okay, so if we don't want to hide the shadow, then we'll add the pet shadow. Then we'll do the emitter stuff. I mean, one other way to do this is I could literally just pre-configure this stuff rather than have it be a struct like this. I don't know. But then here we would do this. Then we just do the factory build once. What's up, Jen? How's it going? We'll hide shadow there. This will probably just have to be a custom particle system. One seems fine, I guess. I'm probably not going to do any velocity. It'll probably spawn right at the thing. Rotation makes sense, I guess. I'll do negative 3.14 to 3.14. I guess we'll do math.py. We'll have to draw a dirt particle as well. I might do a one that's animated that just like is two particles of dirt like opening or something. And yeah, fading from white to transparent makes sense. The size I probably won't do. Or I'll probably do 8 by 8. Then this would have to change. Explosion layer, we probably won't do that. We'll do dust layer. Actually, we might need to do default layer. Just because it's gotta happen in front of the worm. I don't know, we'll see. It's too infrequent. Let's do what's my spawn position? It's only in one spot. Okay. I might do 64. You can tell the layering's getting all messed up. That's decent though. That's 64 milliseconds per spawn. That's pretty good. Let's try to draw we'll copy smoke and we'll try to build something similar. just don't really know what I'm gonna do for this. Like, instead of going up, what if I just kept it like in the same spot? Did I zoom in on this? It's so weird. It's like scaled up one. Okay, let's try that. I'm also gonna color it, I think. Yeah, this is definitely scaled up. Oops. That doesn't look very good though. I'm gonna just I might do that. I just want to round these corners more. I'll just do a shift outline. I'll do this one. That one I'm actually going to do inside. Dun, dun, dun. I want to keep this side together. Do that. Wait, one of them got mixed up. Oh no, maybe it was just really small. That's fine. All right, let's try this. And we'll see how this looks. I genuinely have no idea how this is going to turn out. I think it should be more of like a burrowed thing. Like it needs to be like a mound or something like that. Like this is a very flat sort of shape. I think it's a good start though. And then when he stopped, I mean, he needs to not, like I need to turn it off somehow. That probably won't be that hard. I'll have to add another component that's like, if movement, then spawn. Now the boss has to go underground. Hey, don't push your luck. Oh, that's kind of a bug. When I dash, if I'm full health, it shouldn't do a +1. Let me write that down. If full HP, don't emit the +1. Let me see what it looks like with the faster time, 32. More particles sometimes just make stuff look better. That actually does look better. It's crazy how that just like looks way better. Like it almost even looks just like it's burrowing. I think I could shape it a little bit more. The tricky part is if I shape it, I can't rotate it, and rotating it does add some to it. What do you think? Good enough? Obviously the stopped animation's not good, but I also will need to do it there. I could just pass the pet config to the factory and have it figure this stuff out in a common way, probably. In pet yard, need to add particle emitter. Okay. It's a good start for it, I think, but I am sorry, but I'm going to end the stream here. But thank you all for stopping in. It was a good time. Some good progress today. Lots of boxes checked. Lots of checked boxes. New items. The boss fight's done. I just have to do the set piece, and that might be this patch once I get the set piece done. And obviously these items need to be finalized. But yeah. Anyways, thank you all for stopping in. I hope you all had a good Monday, and I hope you all have a good Tuesday. And yeah, I will see you next time. Bye-bye.